Hey guys, welcome in. It is time for Bollocks this evening, and we got Lenny in here. We got a special guest in here, and we're doing sports this afternoon. We're going to do a little bit of back and forth like we do on our normal topics, Lenny, and then the last 30 minutes, we have some amazing picks. You can't lose with the picks we're going to give you.
Actually, if you bet against me.
If you bet against you and I, you pretty much. My McLaren boys knocked it out of the park this weekekend, though. So
I'm still grousing about Mercedes.
I had three on the podium. I had two on the podium out of the three. So that was one of my bets over the weekend.
Vroom vroom, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little, it's in Miami, so you gotta bet it.
Okay.
So, but before we get going with that, we gotta pay some bills, and we have some amazing sponsors here in the Bozard Ford studio, and I'm starting off with Bozard. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been a recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
Opening their doors in 2008, Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency, has proudly stood by their customers through hurricanes, major floods, hail, and fires. Through these events, the agency has become a much-needed insurance resource in times of trouble and hardship. Honesty and integrity are the pillars of our core value, says owner Ashley Casey. We pride ourselves on being insurance experts while developing strategies that help our clients meet their insurance needs. We truly enjoy the relationships that we forged, and the office has a real love for St. Augustine, which inspires all of us to be our best.
All right. These are my guys right here. Guys, I'm sorry. I just bought another business for you to deal with. Abear Kresge & Associates is a full-service local CPA firm with a team of skilled professionals dedicated to provide top-level service in the areas of tax compliance and planning for businesses, individuals, estates, and trusts, audits, reviews, and other accounting services, business valuations, forensic analysis, and litigation support. You can reach them at 904-460-0747. That's 904-460-0747. They're the best.
You may miss Mike Davis' smiling face at 5 o'clock, and you get Troy and myself instead. However, when quality matters, trust A.D. Davis Construction, North Florida's expert in high-end homes, commercial builds, renovations, and historic restorations. With over 65 years of experience, their dedicated team delivers craftsmanship you can count on and relationships built on trust. They don't just build buildings, we build confidence with integrity, performance, and results that keep over 85% of our clients coming back. From concept to completion, choose A.D. Davis Construction, where your vision meets our legacy of excellence.
All right, last but not least, in today's sponsors, the team at South State Bank is a group of bankers you can count on. Their approach to building long-term relationships with their customers is the best in the business. If you're looking for a banking relationship you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They have 3 locations to serve you in St. Augustine, 312, State Road 16, and the beach. Or visit the website, southstatebank.com. They are a member FDIC. All right, we have Levi Moore in the studio. Levi, welcome in, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad I didn't get nixed when Mike Davis decided he was up and out.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, did you say Knicks?
Yeah.
Because you're wearing that Celtics shirt?
I am.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it as Knicks fans.
Hey, listen, I would love for the Knicks to win tonight. I would love for them to win tonight. I just think it's very tough to go into Boston and take 2 games in the playoffs.
Very true.
Yeah. No,
So-
and that's proven champions too. So I agree with you. But Levi, we're going to get to the sports, but we actually do a little bit of topics going back and forth, hot topics, trending topics. Lenny and I will throw some topics at you.
Okay.
And you get to choose which topic you want to talk about. And then Blake will choose which ones you guys, and we'll go back and forth for about, I would say us do like 3 or 4 topics.
Okay.
And then we get into the sports because we all have our picks for this weekend and this week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and we know not to bet with yours. Got it.
No. If you bet against me, that could be a lock.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That could
I'm
be
just saying.
Okay. All right. So, all right. My first one is India Pakistan.
Okay. Harry S. Truman.
Harry S. Truman.
I'm going to let that hang out there for a minute because it's deeper than that. Oh, much deeper, as a matter of fact.
And I'm going to go with Mr. Beast.
Okay.
All right. So you get, Levi, you get to choose from those three categories. You have India/Pakistan, Harry S. Truman, and Mr. Beast.
Being the millennial that I am, I got to go with Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. All right. And are you familiar with Mr. Beast at all?
Very peripherally.
Very, very peripherally. Wow.
That is a Cornell award right there.
He's coming out with Ivy League words to start us off. This is our sports show. This isn't, okay. This isn't our Mensa show.
All right, that'll be tomorrow. Fine.
Mr. Beast is probably the biggest influencer out. He is the most successful and subscribed influencer out there. He's 24, 25 years old, and he gives away just a ton of money.
People with such sheets.
And he started doing this when he was 13, and he figured out the algorithms. What all of us are trying to do that are in the podcasting world, and he just knocks it out of the park. But I want you to take a guess on what you think he's actually worth now.
$2 billion.
Yeah.
300 million.
Like,
I'm going to say 200 million.
All right. He's actually worth around $600 million.
Okay.
All right. And he does an amazing job. Have you guys watched his new show at all?
The Beast Games?
Yeah, the Beast Games.
I have not watched it, but I've heard that it's good.
Yeah. Have you even heard of it? You haven't even heard of it.
No.
It's on Prime, right?
Yeah.
It is on Prime.
Like, have you watched any of it?
I think I watched the first episode. I was like, this kind of feels like his version of like every other like reality show you've seen, but so I'm not really like interested in like that sort of stuff. But
yeah, see,
I should.
I actually enjoyed the characters, and he has some of those in there, but I think he's watered it down. I think what made him successful is, I mean, it's still a show that you kind of you get locked in with and stuff like that. It's a lot of like if you step out of the circle type things, or if you have your finger, you remember the old if you leave your hand on the car thing.
Yeah.
He does some of those type of things.
Okay.
But he does it with like 100 people and gives away $1 million per show or something like that. But I just wondered, like, because you two are in here today,
Stupid
I wanted to
human
get
tricks.
the millennial check on it. Like, I preferred his stuff like from 3-4 years ago compared to what he's doing, like the production he's got. So.
Yeah, I liked it better. Like you said, his original videos when he was on his come up and he was grinding and he was pushing the envelope. Now he's got a full team. He's got producers. It's more of a TV show now than it is a YouTube channel, which is kind of where he started. One of his best videos that he ever did, I think it's his most viewed video, was when he reenacted Squid Games. And he did, Squid Games, and he had, I think the winner got like $5 million or something like that. And it was his most viewed video of all time. And another one I really liked was when you said the hand on the car, he did a hand on a private jet. And then, and he had a group of his closest friends do it, right? So he was putting them through torture.
Yeah.
And then he told him, the guy that won at the end, he told him he still had to pay the taxes on it. As like a joke towards him. He didn't really have to, but I haven't watched any of his new stuff, but his old stuff I loved, like you said.
Yeah, I like they would do hide and go seek, and then they go out, and I really enjoyed his friend, and Chandler's still in the thing, but I really enjoyed his friend Chandler as one of the characters. His friends became a part of the podcast and where they're at.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of strange, like what someone from the internet, and I looked up like the Paul and Logan,
The Paul brothers.
yeah, where they're at, and their values like 150, 200 million each,
Yep.
or something like that. So they're like 3 and 4, and then the ones that are they're 4 and 5 tied, and then the ones that are 2 and 3 are like young kids.
Do toy reviews.
Yeah,
Right.
toy
Yep.
reviews.
Toy
and-
reviews,
and,
yep.
and things like that. One of them's like a
Their
9-year-old
parents
little
are very
girl.
happy.
Yes.
Yeah, one of them's like a 9-year-old little girl. The other one's now a 13-year-old boy. He started when he was like 9 or
Yep.
something like that. But these kids are worth millions and millions of dollars.
What are they going to do when they can only open 2 doll boxes a year now?
Yeah. What's that mean?
Better-
That's a story for another time.
Thank you.
What's $2? Like,
The
no, I gotta
the
know
president
this.
has decided that children don't need $30. They should be satisfied with only $2 when the supply chain breaks down and we're not getting products from China, and you don't need more than $2, and Donald Trump
No
is
one's
saying,
going to look. Why do you buy into the clickbait of that?
I'm
bullshit?
telling you.
The clickbait, yep.
Because that poor child is going to be out of business.
Champion. He's the champion of that.
Right.
He's the MrBeast of politics.
That's a good comparison.
He's a beast, all right.
Yeah, he's
That's
the
all right. We'll
Mr.
get
Beast.
back to him on a positive note.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that.
All right. So we got Harry S. Truman.
Mm-hmm.
I have India/Pakistan, and
I'm going to add the Golden Globes for Mr. Beast.
the Golden Globes. Okay.
Yep.
So we have Harry S. Truman, India, Pakistan, Golden Globes. Blake, you get to choose.
I'm gonna go with Harry S. Truman.
Harry S. Truman.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's the USS Harry S. Truman, the aircraft carrier, has not had a good tour in the Middle East. You know, bumped into a ship over by Egypt, did a couple other things, and then last week, as they were ducking fire from the Houthi missiles that were shooting at them, they had to make an evasive maneuver, and as they were doing that, they were elevating a fighter jet from the below deck hangar to the ramp on top,
And it fell.
right into the Red Sea. The tow truck driver and the person in the plane were able to get out safely, not a problem. So they lost a $60 million FA-18 fighter jet to the bottom of the Red Sea.
Technically, they didn't lose it. You know exactly.
They know exactly where
They know
it is.
exactly where it is.
Well, that's good because
it's not usable right now.
well, it's good. It's good because they can amortize their salvage costs. Because yesterday there was a plane coming to land on it, and the hook didn't catch, and it kept going right off the front of the aircraft carrier, and kaplunk, second fighter jet into the Red Sea.
In 2 days.
In a week, within a week. Yeah.
Holy cow.
120 million.
Yep, $120 million worth of fighter jets. Thank you, Pete Hesless. So, but they were able to safely pluck out the navigator, weapons officer, and the pilot were pulled out of the ocean by helicopter. They're all safe. Same thing with the two gentlemen that were moving the original
Wait, did
jet.
you say the two gentlemen or the Jew gentlemen?
Two gentlemen. I have no idea if they were circumcised or
Okay,
not.
I mean,
I don't know. We could see.
I didn't know which side of your body was talking about.
No, two gentlemen. I don't believe
Two gentlemen,
and I
okay.
don't believe they're from Verona, but
Okay.
and I don't know if they were circumcised.
Oh, okay. And we're not checking under the
No, I'm not asking. No.
We're not checking under the
Nope, nope.
No, Harry S. Truman was, the last president that didn't have a college degree.
Yeah. He was a haberdasher.
Yeah, he was a Mad Hatter. His middle name is actually S.
Yes. Yep.
So, and what was the sign that sat on his desk?
The buck stops here.
The buck stops here. Everything ended with him.
And actually, in Key West, on the naval base there, that was his winter White House. Was in Key West on the naval base that's down there, and you got to love him. He had a poker table in his little Key West White House, and he was a big poker player.
Yeah. Yeah. No. He was kind of a guy's kind of guy. He would like the show today. I don't know if he'd like some of the other shows we did, but he would like the show today. And one of the coolest things, or not the coolest thing, one of the interesting things in history is the atom bomb.
Yeah.
He did not know, as vice president, about the atom bomb until the day after FDR died.
Yeah.
And he was the vice president.
Yeah.
That's how
was
tight they
buttoned
kept
up.
the Manhattan Project.
That was
So.
buttoned up.
Yeah, and when he had a conversation with Eleanor the day that FDR died, he's like, "Okay, what can I do for you?" And she's like, "No, Mr. President. The war's kind of coming to an end as this is happening." And Eleanor, I'm sure, knew about the atom bomb. Yeah. And she was like, "No, you're the one who really needs to worry."
Yeah.
So, all right. Topics we got. I have India, Pakistan still on the board. What was your other one?
Either Golden Globes or Conclave.
Golden Globes was the other one. Let's add that Conclave in there too. So we got India, Pakistan, Golden Globes, Conclave. Levi, it's to you.
India, Pakistan.
India, Pakistan. All right.
Boom.
Have you been keeping up with this at all?
I have.
All right. This one has me a little on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
This is a group that has been fighting for centuries. They stopped the fighting decades ago, and now it looks like they're on the verge of like getting after it again. But the problem is both of them have
Nuclear weapons.
Yep. And both of them have a hatred level that's through the roof.
And they've been skirmishing over Kashmir for years and years and years and years. The major part of both countries are fine, but that contested border territory in Kashmir, there's been incursions, skirmishes back and forth, but Pakistan went in and killed, I think it's something like 26 Indian tourists in the Kashmir region, and India got pissed off.
Yeah, India like did a strike on them.
Yep.
And I still can't tell. It sounds like they did shoot down some of India's planes.
Pakistan's claiming they shot down 5 planes and a drone. I don't know that that's been confirmed by India. I don't know if there's been independent corroboration for that, but Pakistan's claiming they shot down 5 planes and a drone.
Yeah, yeah. And India said that they were very targeted attacks.
Yeah.
They made sure it was precise to minimize any civilian.
I think only 6 people were killed. Six or 7 people were killed in that.
Yeah, so I think the number's up a little bit, and I think a total of 47 were hurt.
Oh, okay, all right.
Not 47 dead, but a number of 47 was hurt. But this one, to me, has me more nervous than all the skirmishes that are going on in the Middle East and in that area.
Yeah.
So.
And again, it's based on religious hatred.
Yeah. No.
And a little territorial dispute as well, but yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I was coaching volleyball, and we have some of the guys I work with now were actually on my volleyball team. I was their coach, and when it was around the time 9/11, all right, and they had such a tough time traveling, and people would like stare at them and stuff. They're like, "Hey, we've been fighting them for centuries.
Right.
They've been fighting the Muslims for centuries here as Hindus.
Yeah.
So this one's one to keep our eye on."
Yeah.
So.
And again, the nuclear weapons. But, in theory, there's cooler heads that are trying to prevail. I think it was the Pakistan defense minister was saying he's trying to ratchet it down. I haven't heard anything that I've noticed or remember from the Indian side. But, we'll see.
All right. Now we're going to go Disney, Golden Globes, and Conclave. And Blake, it's to you.
I'm going to go with Disney.
Disney.
Okay.
All right, Blake, you sent me this from Disney. Disney is, and I went into Disney a little bit further, but Disney World and the Disney theme parks are up.
Yes, today they were. Well, they're down by 50% over the last year and a half or so, from $200 down to $100 a share.
Yeah, but the second quarter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First quarter they took a hit. Second quarter they're up almost 7%. Okay, that's a pretty big number.
Oh.
Okay, that's a pretty big number when we're talking that many people coming to the U.S. And I said this when we were in the recession before. I get nervous when Walmart's parking lot's empty and there's no lines at Disney.
Yep.
All right, so there's still lines at Disney, so I'm not hitting the panic button yet.
Well, there's always going to be Disney adults that wear like Mickey Mouse ears till they're 35.
Yeah, but I mean,
35.
But even
fine.
then, they're cutting it down from 4 trips a year to 3, and that affects the numbers. So, but when I see those numbers in the tourist industry that I'm in, that kind of gives me a little bit of confidence that when there's no lines at Disney, that's when we should be nervous.
That's the panic button time.
That's the panic button time.
Yeah.
That's the old shit time. Right
Yeah.
there.
Disney's once again doing something what may be very smart and hedging their bets because they just announced and are developing a new theme park.
Well, the one in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that international Disney theme parks, guess where the 2 that are doing the worst are?
Paris and Tokyo.
No, Hong Kong and Shanghai.
Okay, well,
Hong Kong and Shanghai.
I don't even remember theirs there.
Yeah,
You got Disneyland Paris, and then you got
the other
Tokyo.
the other ones held their own.
Okay,
the only 2 that were losing money are in China.
And it's absolutely funny, like hearing back in the 90s, you remember the time like when Euro Disney was actually planning on failing at one point. And now somehow the one in Paris is the one that's stable, But yet the ones in China and Hong Kong are the ones that are about.
Well, they
to,
had to revamp the one in Paris. The one in Paris was really
it
struggling
wasn't
there
working
for a little
well,
bit.
yeah.
So, and they had to redo that one quite a bit. All right, we're gonna hit two more,
Okay.
and then we're gonna switch over to the picks. And in case you're wondering who's setting the picks for your sports weekend this weekend, we have Lord Levi Locks. We have Blake's Bank Busters.
hey,
All right, he doesn't have a camera on him. We have Lenny's Lucky Loser. Okay,
I know my betting history.
you're playing with confidence.
Though I did well with the NCAA playoffs.
And Troy's Timely Tips. All right, and one of my picks is the game's going on right now, so it's not so timely.
Okay.
So and I think all of us have that same game. All right, so we got Conclave, Golden Globes, and Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, that's a new one.
It's to you, sir.
Let's go Conclave.
Conclave. All right. So the first vote is in.
And over.
And what color smoke was it, Lenny?
It was black smoke. There is no Pope yet. They're
All right.
back for day 2 tomorrow.
All right. There are some sports lines
Yeah.
on who's going to be the next pope.
And there's a question on whether or not you should be able to bet on the Pope. But it's America, and you can bet on everything. Not as much as you can in England,
Yeah.
where they'll bet on anything.
It's our choice.
Yes.
And they had a lottery in the Bible. I saw it. Just saw it. It happens.
Well, I got a new front
I know I
runner.
scare a lot of people because I am an agnostic.
There you go. Well,
But,
we both.
but like what I know, the stuff that's stuck in my melon from my childhood is still there. All right.
I got a new front runner
You have a new front runner.
for Pope.
Well, who's this?
First of all, he should win immediately because of his name, but he's the cardinal out of Jerusalem who's responsible for the Catholics in Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, Syria, and he is Cardinal Pizzaballa.
Pizza?
Balla.
The guy's name
One
is
word.
Pizza?
Pizzaballa.
look up.
Yep.
Pizza
Yep.
Balla.
The knock against him is he's only 60 years old, but he's heavily into pacifism. He offered himself up to exchange himself for the hostages in Gaza. And then, the Palestinians freaked out and said, well, what about our hostages? He said, I'll stand in for them as well. Let everybody go, hold me. Of course, they didn't take him up on it, unfortunately. So those people are still being held in Gaza and in Israeli prisons. But I like this guy because he's about peace, and that's his whole mandate. And he's been in Jerusalem since he was a child, so he's been there for ages, and he's 60 years old.
He sounds like he's about pizza.
Yeah, well, he's a pizzabella.
A pizzabella. All right. And so the way the conclave is made up is there's 133 cardinals. One of the rules is the cardinals cannot be over the age of 80. All right. You have to get 2/3 of a vote to become pope, and you get to see the white smoke. All right. It normally takes between 2 and 5 days for them to come to a decision on who's pope. They eliminate people until they get down to where, they can get the 2/3. Sometimes it's still with 4. Sometimes it goes all the way down to 2. All right. But
A lot of politicking goes on in that conclave and over the meals.
and I'll tell you this. I think the front runner is the Italian guy who's been basically the deputy pope.
Pietro Parolin.
Parolin has been. Is that who you pulled up right there?
Yep, that's him.
All right. Parolin is. Pope Francis hasn't been doing well.
No.
So Parolin has been acting in a lot of ways as the Pope, kind of behind the scenes and doing the stuff in the college.
Francis's model.
And Francis is he's probably a little more moderate than Francis is,
Okay.
but nowhere near where Benedict was.
Okay.
So he's kind of a good balance between the left and the right. He's considered a moderate, and the Italians haven't had an Italian pope
Right.
in almost 40 plus years. I think the last pope they had was Pope John the First, and he only lasted like 30 days.
Well, Pizzabella was born in Italy, so I'm still pulling from my boy.
He's still got he's got Italian.
Italian lineage.
Yeah, I think I think it is going to be an Italian. They're kind of like, we toyed around with the whole Polish and
the Filipino candidate has got some serious running.
Oh wow!
There's an archbishop, a cardinal out of the Philippines, who's got some play.
Yep, Luis and Antonio Gokim Tagle.
Which is very easy for you to say.
I thought he just spit up on himself.
I thought so as well, man.
Okay, got a little on there.
Got a little joke.
All right, so we have 2 left.
Okay.
Golden Globes or Pop-Tarts? Blake, it's to you.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
And then the reason why is because I sent this story to you.
You sent this story to me. And this is
Inside Baseball, which we'll get to next week.
Exactly
Don't you worry.
right.
This story I'm super excited about. All right. Pop-Tarts. They're coming out with ice cream sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah. So it's the cinnamon one with vanilla ice cream, like with the Pop-Tarts.
So they're using the Pop-Tart as the cookie, and then they're putting ice cream between 2 Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
Nice. Are the
Wow.
Pop-Tarts still?
I'm assuming they are.
See, now I could buy into
Like a jelly crust?
Yeah, strawberry vanilla Pop-Tart.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's one of the, Blake, do you have the 3 choices there?
I do.
All right.
So it's the brown sugar cinnamon. Then you have chocolate fudge, and you have frosted strawberry.
All with vanilla ice cream, or they have different flavored ice creams?
Different flavor ice cream for each one. So it looks like
Nice.
I think the strawberry is like a strawberry swirl.
yeah. So it's brown sugar cinnamon. It actually has brown sugar cinnamon in the ice cream itself. Then you obviously have chocolate for the chocolate fudge, and you have strawberry ice cream for the strawberry Pop-Tart.
Something every child must have in their freezer,
I mean,
and some adults.
I can tell you this. I'm going to try out all of these right
I'm
here.
with you.
'Cause, I mean, that's a combination
Do we need to bring up?
that I do not understand what's taken us this long.
All right.
We may have to do that on air.
We have to do it on air.
Yeah, I think we'll do it on a Wednesday so you can get.
Yeah, I would love to try that.
get the
I
Pop-Tart.
I saw a thing about ice cream sandwiches the other day. It was a meme, and it was explaining how ice cream sandwiches are the Tim Duncan of ice cream because they aren't flashy, but they get the job done.
Oh,
I like that.
No,
I
And then
like that.
you got Pop-Tarts coming in who are kind of a little flashy, right? So you bring the 2 together, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm excited about this.
And I like
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts. Are relatively indestructible. You don't open that foil pack, they can stay on your shelf forever.
Yeah. No, that's
Probably not the healthiest for us now that we're learning about seed oils and stuff and preservatives,
Right.
but they taste good.
But if you shop bargains, man, you can get an 8-pack BOGO for a very inexpensive amount of money.
Oh, yeah, you can get a pallet at Costco.
And I know that the hard way.
I need a bigger truck.
yeah. Blake was at Costco the other day.
They're going in my Pakistani bomb shelter.
Get some Twinkies as well.
If only the water table wasn't so high here, we could dig.
All right, last topics because I didn't want to leave this off, and some people in the comments have been asking for it. Golden Globes.
It's a quickie. I just read today that the Golden Globes have added a category, and I think we should qualify. They're going to give a Golden Globe for podcasts.
Sweet.
So it looks like MrBeast could be in the running.
Mr. Beast.
He doesn't do a podcast, does he?
Anymore, no?
I think he does just a show.
Oh, good. Less competition for us.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
We could maybe make you guys could make the podium maybe.
yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna be tough to compete with Joe Rogan and his numbers.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah, I understand.
However-
I understand he has some followers.
he has quite a bit.
I understand he has a couple of followers, but I mean, so it's a new category.
Yep.
I mean, Joe Rogan's
He shouldn't be allowed to compete.
Yeah.
Like when you invent something, you shouldn't be allowed to compete in it.
Yeah. So Joe Rogan to me would be like hands down the winner. I mean,
Yeah.
who else is out there? That I mean
Possibly
Paul
impulsive.
brothers?
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Impulsive, yep.
And impulsive. Also probably say who else?
What about-
Party might take?
Pardon my take. Yep.
what about the football players, Kelsey brothers?
New Heights.
New Heights. Yep. I don't know if they would be that. I don't know if they're that big yet. I was gonna say the Pivot that has like
Yeah.
Fred Taylor and them on there.
Busting with the boys.
Busted with the boys. Yep.
Yeah.
So Nikki Glazer hosted the Golden Globes, the one that just happened, and I think she's coming back for next year. Was it the Golden Globes that Nikki Glazer hosted?
Okay.
I
don't know.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
She'll be at
she's
the
gonna-
amphitheater next month.
I know, yeah.
But-
I think she's pretty much sold out.
But
Not a cheap ticket.
but she'll always be Ricky Gervais hosting it though. Ricky Gervais is like the best Golden Globes host of all time.
Yeah.
He's just heartless.
I haven't
Right.
watched
It's
an
one of
award
those.
show in
She's
years.
close.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I-
it's The best part is if Ricky's on or Nikki is actually busting on everybody. I mean, that's
That's why I would almost root for Joe Rogan to win, just have Nikki Glaser go after him.
oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure she would enjoy that.
How
I'm
about
sure he would enjoy that.
How about the this is a side topic here, but like these outfits at the Met Gala are just so out of this world now.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to just like a black tie event? Now they're like, I'm surprised people aren't flying in on jetpacks. Like it's crazy.
I'm
Give it
actually
a year.
disappointed they're not.
Yeah, me too.
'Cause I thought by now when I was like, wasn't it like the 5th Super Bowl or something like that? The guy came in on a jet.
Sure.
He came in on a jetpack, and I was like, dude, when I'm a grown up, that's going to be a real thing.
Well,
And I've become a grown up now. I'm an AARP member. Still no jetpack, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not gonna lie.
well, I'm trying to gauge whether or not it's true or hype because I saw something online a couple of last week of looked like a flying motorcycle, and it was flying, and they were out over the desert, and you could see where the jet trail was blowing up dust and stuff. I'm going, this is pretty great. This dude was tooling around, and then apparently I looked up further, and they said, yeah, no, it's a hoax. But there's a company that's out there, Volvex or something like that, that has got a flying scooter type of thing, like the speeder from Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
That's what it looks like, and they were tooling around with it. So I'm hoping it's kind of real, but I don't know. He didn't fall out of the sky. Guy was wearing a crash helmet at least.
I'm still
but it was booming along.
I'm still getting used to my e-bike, so I mean,
well, just be careful with your battery.
yeah. Oh yeah, no salt water in the battery.
Nope.
All right, it is time to get into sports. Are you 3 prepared?
I'm very prepared.
All right. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup?
Stanley Cup. That's
Major-
ice hockey.
We got Florida teams in there, baby.
Yeah, I know. And they're going head to head.
The
weren't
road,
they?
They were, yeah. The Panthers bested them again.
yeah, so I was going to say the road to the Stanley Cup comes through Florida.
Right.
I know a lot of people don't realize that, but like 6 years in a row, if the Panthers actually make it again, it'll be 6 years
They
in a row.
have a good chance.
That Florida team's been in the finals.
It's basically like Florida versus Canada at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're going to go Stanley Cup and hit it, and because that's probably our least.
It's mine least too. So let's get it out the way.
We're going to get it out of the way.
The Islanders have the first draft choice, so they're coming back.
They still have a team.
Yes,
They were
yes,
dominant
yes.
in the 80s. They were the first team that was, outside of the Montreal Canadiens, the Islanders were the most dominant team in hockey through the early 80s.
Yeah. Was it guy from Messi? Was he an Islander?
Mark Messier?
Oh, he was a Ranger. He was a Ranger.
He
All
was a
those New
Ranger.
York teams blend together for me. So, so the Islanders. Who was the big player at that time for the Islanders?
It'll come to me, but I'm not thinking off the top of my head. I can see them. There are a couple of them because they won 4 years in a row.
All right. So Blake, give us a list of who's still in the Stanley Cup.
So
And go ahead.
all right. So let me pull up the MLB app. So right now, currently still in the finals right now, is the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers, and the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes.
Looks like the Capitals should be the chalk.
Yeah. So, but right now, actually, let me pull up here.
Who are the Capitals playing?
The Hurricanes.
Okay.
Which they lost in overtime last night to the Hurricanes, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Hurricanes are solid.
Yeah, Hurricanes are like pretty good.
All right. So because this is all of our lease, we're just going to go, who do you feel is winning? And I'm going to put it over here, and we'll hold on to it for a couple weeks. Who do you feel is winning the Stanley Cup?
I'll go with the Caps.
Caps.
I'll give it to Ovechkin.
All right. Levi.
Give me the Panthers.
Panthers.
Give me them to repeat.
You're a homer. Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I have a philosophy on ice hockey. If the lake can't freeze, you shouldn't be able to play ice hockey.
Yeah, it's fair.
You know? I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, they're holding on to that cup tight. Blake, who you got?
Ooh, I'm gonna say I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be Battle of Canada, Winnipeg, Toronto, and with surprisingly the Maple Leafs taking it, breaking their curse.
You're going with the Leafs. They can't even spell their damn name right.
I know they can, man.
So you're going with the Leaves.
Indeed.
Okay. Bold move, Cotton.
But let's see how it works.
All right, and Levi, I'm with you. I think they got that championship pedigree.
They do.
I'm gonna hold on to the Panthers. They've been there, you know.
This will be their third year in a row if they go back to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they lost the Golden Knights, who I also like the Golden Knights. My two teams are the Panthers and Golden Knights, so you know it's been
Vegas.
It's been fun.
I was actually in Vegas when the Golden Knights were doing their parade. I was there for a gaming event, and we could see the parade from our hotel room, and it was wild.
Yeah. So my dad and I were in Vegas in 2013, for my 22nd birthday, and then the game we went to was the Panthers versus the Golden Knights.
So I got to see both my favorite teams.
I've still never been to a hockey game.
Oh, really?
I've never been.
I can tell you this:
have to
I've
go.
only been in Vegas.
Okay.
And it is a show, and it is a great show. And hockey is one of those things when you watch it live, even like the minor league hockey they have in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
it is great. It is great entertainment. So next time you're in Vegas, go to a Golden Knights.
I definitely will.
You'll probably become a Golden Knights fan. Even you hold on to the Florida teams, but you'll probably become a fan because of the show they put on.
Yeah.
Last hockey game I was at was at Madison Square Garden in 1994 when the Rangers were in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that was the last hockey game I went to.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Shifting gears, shifting sports. I am going to let our guest of honor, the guy who knows more about sports than definitely Lenny and I, and Blake, you're pretty solid at it, but what sport would you like to go to now?
Let's go to MLB.
MLB, Major League Baseball. All right. Going on right now, Major League Baseball. I have some future bets out there. I don't know if you do the future bets at all.
I don't do futures. I want to get into it because I see everyone posting these futures where they pick like the Masters winner, the NHL, the Stanley Cup winner, the NFL winner, and like they get them all right, and it's like $5 to $2 million. So I'm like, I should start doing these.
Yeah,
but I haven't done them yet.
Okay.
So
yeah, the two future bets I have out there is I have the Reds, which is my favorite team, and I have them over 77. I think is what I have them over. So they have to play 500 ball. They cover my bet, and they were like 18 and 15 going into Atlanta, and now they've lost 2 in a row.
yeah.
So now as long as they stay out of Atlanta,
don't you and Mike have a bet on that?
we always have a bet on
lunch,
it.
right?
Yeah,
yeah.
We always have a lunch bet.
Mike's
on
got you beat right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got 2 more games left.
Yeah, they play tonight.
Yeah, they play tonight. They play tonight, and that's my ATM's pitching tonight for the Reds.
Yep. And he's going against Holmes, right? Holmes is pitching for the Braves, who's been solid thus far this season for them.
Yeah. Holmes for the Braves, I think his over-under was like at 4.5 strikeouts.
Yep.
And my guy, Hunter Green, is at 7.5.
Yep.
So he's going to have to stay
game
in the game for a bit.
Yep.
But Olsen should get him 4. So he's been striking out, but on the other side, De La Cruz will probably strike out as many times as Olsen.
See, my future bets, I stick with the team. I got the Mets to win the NL and the Mets to win the World Series.
The Mets look strong early on in the season.
We need some solid pitching, though.
But the thing with baseball is you don't want to be the team that's hot in the beginning. You want to be the team that's hot after the All-Star break.
I'm feeling a June swoon. That's why I'm wearing the shirt today while we're still in first place.
Yep.
Yeah. So as far as your hot picks for this week, which team do you see is peaking and going up? Which team do you see coming down?
I think the Dodgers have settled down, and it's obnoxious how good they really are. So it's tough to pick against the Dodgers. And team that's going down, I'd love it to be the Phillies, but I don't think it is. And it looks like the Cubs are starting to swoon a little bit, which is too bad.
Yep.
They got a good team.
I agree with
you as well.
They're my sinking ship.
Yeah.
So I mean, they did it in '69, but they started earlier this year, I think.
Yeah.
So, Blake, what about you? Do you have a sinking ship in baseball?
I think possibly maybe. I really do think Detroit's not really gonna continue the best hot streak right now. I think they're leading the Central right now. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland takes it at the end of the month and then take it over for June. However, though, I do think Detroit will be hot again come August and September to take the division back.
You think they will?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. I think Detroit's playing a little over their head right now. I look at their roster. I mean, they have so many unknowns on their roster,
Which makes it fun.
But it makes it fun. But who they got behind it if that person goes down? And like the deep teams like the Dodgers. The Dodgers
are
They're an all-star team.
Dodgers are an all-star team. The Yankees are an all-star team.
Yep.
The Mets are an all-star team. I mean, there's certain teams where they lose a player or two. They're still gonna
Perform, yeah.
Right.
They're still gonna be the favorite going into most games they play.
But the reason I brought up the Cubs was I was talking to friends of ours in Chicago. Julie and I were talking to friends in Chicago last night, planning our trip out there, and the Cubs tied the game in the ninth, 5-5. 2 innings later, they ended up losing the game 14-5 when the Giants put 9 runs on the board in the 11th inning.
Dumb.
And I think it's affecting the Cubs a little bit today.
Yeah, I can tell you this: my worst bet last week, I thought it was a sure lock. I had this thing as a lock. San Francisco's playing against the Rockies.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Playing against the Rockies.
I think we all had that.
It was like an over. I was playing the over, and I think it was like 7.5.
Was it at Coors Field? No, it was in.
It was in
San Francisco. Yeah.
So that definitely is a factor.
Yeah.
Sure.
If anything at Coors Field 7.5, you got to play it.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's. I mean, I normally throw one good bet and then 2 little softball bets. I mean, I usually do about 3 bets a night and maybe a fun parlay.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my lock. And I doubled down. I didn't even throw in my little bets because I was like, I'm just going to.
I'm all in. I love it. I love the commitment.
I'm going to build my bank on this one. This is my future.
That's how confident you were.
Yeah, and then it was 4-0. So, yeah, 4-0 the other way. I think it was. I think the Rockies beat.
They beat them
Giants
4-0. Yeah, trust me. I was on the Giants that game
You
too.
were on the Giants that game.
Yeah,
So I was like, Giants are going to score that by themselves.
Listen, here's the thing though. Over the course of a season, if you just bet against the Rockies and the White Sox, you will come out on top.
Sure.
I promise you will come out on top.
Yep.
You can, anytime they're playing the same day, you can parlay the 2 teams playing against them together and you'll still come out on top.
Yeah.
So
they're just not. They're
just not good.
not good.
They're
not good.
Yeah.
In my team, the Reds are Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
They literally could score 20 runs or get shut out. Like they got 1 hit last night.
I'm a Braves fan, so
granted, it was Sale. I mean,
Yeah.
he finally was like, okay, I guess I should kind of
win a game.
play up to my Cy Youngness, and so I stayed away from that game because of Sale and
You want to know what my sneaker bet of the day is? I got the Padres giving Max Fried his first loss
okay.
in New York.
Tatis playing?
Yeah.
Because he was hurt. Is he back?
I don't know if he's playing or not. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
Like,
I
can you check
think
that real
he got
quick?
hurt a couple days ago.
Max Fried has been on fire, right? He's 6-0 on the season. He's obviously the early front runner for the Cy Young. But the Padres over the past year or so have absolutely just shelled lefties. They've just dialed in on them.
Like, did we see Fried pitch?
We did. Oh, I remember that game. We did see
Sorry, it's a
Fried.
great story. I baited it a bit.
Oh, dude, we almost saw him get a no hitter on the same day Chipper Jones went to the Hall of Fame.
All right.
Really?
So if we're in Atlanta and Fried is he's just mowing him down. He's just chewing him up and spitting him out. And 8 2/3. And he gives up a hit.
Wow.
Yep. So, and it was the day Chipper
one
went
last out.
into the Hall of Fame. And so it was kind of a cool day.
Yeah.
Your favorite player, Larry.
Larry.
Yeah. So.
Larry.
No, but I was fortunate enough. It's one of those things where I could act really cool and like, hey, I coached him.
Right.
So luckily, I still have the program where we're in the program together. No one really believes it unless I have that.
Right. You got to carry it with you.
Most
at all
people don't
times.
look at me as a baseball player anyway, so they look at me more as an accountant. So, look at me like I should be working at Kresge.
You just have the wrong hat on. That's all.
Aver and Kresge.
There you go.
So, yeah, I saw your mom. Speaking of ball players, I saw your mom yesterday at Cheese Wheel.
They still got her out there at the softball field. She's told me she told me the past 3 years she thought she was going to be done. She was going to be done, and they keep talking her into coming back and coming back and coming back. So she's still out there. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this story. When we won the national championship in New Orleans. All right. It was a co-ed tournament. We're playing against teams that are overly funded, but we have just the St. Augustine kind of all-star team here. And we beat Jose Canseco's team. We beat teams that were majorly funded, like $50,000-$60,000 budgets, and we're like, literally, how much you got? I got $3. How many?
Yeah.
So this is
self-funded.
Yeah. So we had like Sports Corner at the time and some other people that were helping us out. But we go into New Orleans and we win the national championship. His mom wins the women's MVP, and I won the men's MVP in the same tournament the year we won. So so
nice.
her and I have that same time frame, the same national championship together.
So funny because at my parents' house, right? My parents have a trophy room, and it has some of mine and Evan's accolades in there, but there's no room for them.
Yeah,
because all my mom's softball stuff is in there.
Your mom's a player.
How many houses can say that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, your mom's a real player. So I was going to ask, like, what's it like to have you three guys and your mom being the best athlete in the house?
Whoa. We're not gonna... we'll give it to her today, but yeah, I mean, it's funny because, I grew up, obviously, big sports guy, played basketball a lot, but my mom was the one that was always, more into the sports than my dad. And so now for me in my relationship, my girlfriend struggles with it because it was normal to me, right? A woman that liked to watch sports. Now she's like, can we put on White Lotus? And I'm like, the NBA playoffs are on. We're not putting on White Lotus. What are you talking about? She's like, do we have to watch more sports? There's sports on year round. And I'm like, yes, we do.
That's the point. That's why there's ESPN.
Yes, that's why there's a TV in every room. So it can be on every television.
Yeah.
Especially if there's two games on at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Now we got the split screen.
The multi-view on YouTube TV is just like the best feature. Like,
it's great.
Like during football season, it's fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. Like where sports is. I mean, I remember having 4 TVs in my living room just so I could watch what I wanted to watch at the same time. And now it's all on one screen.
Right.
It's so much clearer than anything I ever had before.
It's better than going to the games. It's literally better than being there in real life.
We're not going to go that far.
As far as picture quality goes, you're more
and bathroom availability.
And bathroom availability, yep. And cost of beer.
Right.
Snacks.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I would definitely not say bathroom availability at our house, though, right?
Oh yeah, we only have one bathroom with 5 people, so
maybe you're better off at the
we
stadium.
might be better at the stadium.
Go.
So there's always a urinal available. All right, Major League Baseball. We talked about the diving teams. Which teams do you see that could play to their potential that aren't playing to their potential yet?
Well, the Phillies always scare me. They're obnoxious. And the Cardinals are starting to warm up a little bit, too. I've always been a National League kind of guy, so.
So those would be your picks? Who do you
This
think,
is not because I'm a fan of this team, but I got to go with the Braves. With how they started to where they are today, I got to go with the Braves. They're actually starting to live up to their potential. They had good pitching. They just couldn't hit the dang ball.
Well, they also had a bunch of players hurt at the start of the season who
They
are coming
did.
back healthy.
And then their big money guy that they spent all this money on the offseason who's supposed to be great is now suspended for half the year. So
you got the Braves. Any other team?
I would probably say, let me think for a second. I don't have one that's playing up to their potential now, but I have one that I think will play up to their potential, and that's the Orioles.
Orioles.
Yeah. They're underachieving.
They got a long way to
They're
go.
underachieving big time for their roster.
They started out great, and they're at the bottom of the division.
Yeah, they're underachieving big time.
Yeah, that was my pick as well. The Orioles were. I definitely do think they're gonna play a lot better this year, but I'm gonna make a sneaky pick as well to make the playoffs. The Athletics. They've been performing surprisingly well.
They have.
But yet it's their first year in the minor league ballpark.
Right.
Yeah.
They were beating the brakes off the Mariners when we started.
All right, and mine, I agree. I think the Braves are starting to find. There's
Makes
I
me
think
nervous.
The only thing with the Braves is they seem to either, and the Reds are just the same way. They seem to either go together or go down, and it's like some of the bigger teams, like the Braves. If Mookie's not hitting, Freeman is, and it seems like when Olsen's not hitting, Acuna's not hitting.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of go together, like they don't kind of pick each other up at that level. So I think they're hot right now, but I don't know if one of those guys.
Well, they get Acuna back the middle of this month.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be coming back.
Yeah, so hopefully, and it's going to take him a bit.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
When you're off that long, it's going to take him, a couple weeks to kind of get the rhythm.
Yeah.
But to me, that team, Olsen is the key to that team because he sits right in the middle of that lineup, and he protects the other guys.
Yep.
And if he's not hitting, he's not protecting anybody.
Yeah.
And he's really the first year he was there, he earned his money.
Yeah.
I don't think he's earning his money right now.
No, he's not. I mean, Austin Riley's picking it up for him big time.
100%.
But yeah, we'll see.
All right,
Yeah,
and my other surprise team, and you guys might not like this one at all, but I think the Rangers are finding their rhythm, and when DeGrom is on, you can pretty much put a W next to every fifth game.
Yep.
And he seems to be comfortable.
Getting back into right.
He seems to be comfortable.
Health,
He's not trying to throw 100 miles an hour every pitch. So he's becoming a pitcher, which is why I love Hunter Green. 3-4 years. Here's a guy who throws more 100-mile-an-hour pitches than most teams throw in the entire season. He throws in a game. But what's made him better this year compared to the previous years is his slider. So his sliders, just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I see DeGrom actually, because of all his injuries, he's like, okay, let me become more of a cerebral pitcher, and
Greg Maddux.
Yeah. So, but I like the Braves. I say the Braves go or die with Olsen, even though he's not their star, but he supports he's the guy who's the backbone between those guys.
He's the vital piece of the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just really hope everyone's. I just hope everyone's healthy on both sides before the big Bristol game, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the big Bristol game. Blake and I are going to Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh, you guys are?
Yeah. So we got our tickets. We're going there the 1st of August. Is that what it is?
I believe it's August 2nd.
August 2nd. So we're going up there with Aiden, my nephew, and we're going to the game. We're going to camp out in the old RV.
That'll be fun.
Nothing else around Bristol.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun trip.
It won't be as noisy as if there's a race there.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, it is so loud there.
It's a bull ring, man. It's so.
Yeah. You guys, have you been to Bristol?
I haven't been to Bristol. No.
Gosh, I'm telling you right now, it is so loud if you're not in the boxes. And we weren't in the boxes for the first half of a race. And when we got into the box, we're like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Like I like in Daytona, I've never wore headgear. You gotta have it. Yeah. You gotta have it in Bristol. It is that loud.
Wow.
So we're a little concerned about how far away we are from the field, the way they're configuring the field. So it should be interesting watching baseball inside.
That'll be cool.
Thing.
All right. NBA.
It's
my bread and butter.
What you got here?
So are we going teams first? Player props? What are we doing?
Us do. I want to hear each of you guys. Do you have a parlay you would put out there?
Well, I'm mixing sports, but I'm going Knicks and Mets for tonight.
Knicks and Mets. Okay, that's your parlay. That's your.
Is that a hearttaking parlay?
I'm taking the Knicks all the way, baby.
Lenny's lucky losers.
All the way.
All right. And,
this is our year.
Is that the money line, or you're taking the points?
I'm just taking the Knicks to win.
Sheesh,
Knicks to win.
It's like plus 450.
Yeah. But I mean, aren't aren't they getting like 10 points or something today?
Yeah, I
with the
think it's.
Celtics?
I'll tell you exactly what it is right now. It is
I got to get back online. This thing keeps saying
10 and a half.
10 and a half. Okay.
10 and a half.
Is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll take
That's
that.
why I say if you do a money line and you hit that, that's a play.
That's a play. Yeah.
That's a play right there. All right. So you got Knicks and what is that other team called?
These guys.
Metropolitans.
Oh, do you want an update on that, or are you like my dad, where you don't want me to tell you anything because you DVR the games?
No, you can tell me. How bad is it?
It's 5-0 Mets.
Oh, baby.
go.
See, all right, I'm halfway home.
I like the Mets
Halfway
today
home.
too. I like
All
the
right,
Mets. I
thank
like
you,
the
Levi.
Mets. They usually do very well against West Coast teams.
Yeah, they
Appreciate
do.
it.
They've been killing it. At home.
I thought them losing last night was a fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was. All right. So what is your
Basketball parlay.
basketball parlay today?
So I would, there's not much value in this parlay with just the two money lines, but I would go Celtics money line and I would go OKC money line. That still is only like a minus 232 odds. So what I like to do, especially if you're using Hard Rock, if you're in Florida, which I hope you guys are, we throw a little bit of alt player props in there, right? Yeah. And when I'm doing my alt player props, I look at their head to head and I look at their last 15 games and what line have they hit where I can get it just to about even odds. So give me Jason Tatum for 3 threes. He's shooting about 9.5 a game in the postseason. I like that clip ratio. So for him to hit 3, and then you got to give me Jalen Williams for 2 threes.
Okay.
And that brings you to like plus 130.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
All right. Blake, what you got, man?
Oh, I definitely think it's gonna be. I'm looking more towards like the over unders for the points tonight. So right now I believe it's a 210.5 for the Knicks Celtics game. I think it's gonna be an over on that one. But for the Denver OKC game, I think they have it as they have Thunder as a minus 10 favorite. I think I go against the spread and go Denver.
I like that. I think Denver could walk out of there up 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going money line Celtics and OKC.
Yep.
All right. And then on the other side, I'm taking the points
Okay.
from Denver.
I like
So
that.
I'm taking
3 legs. So you
I'm
give
going
yourself a
with
10-point cushion.
I'm going with that middle.
Yep.
And then as far as my player prop of the night, I'm with the Celtics. I'm White.
Derek White
on his assist. I think he's at 4.5 or something.
Yep.
And also I like the Joker over on assist.
I have that in as well. I have the Joker in on assists.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are if I put together a cheap parlay and play like a five legger or something like that. That's where I like my NBA picks.
Yeah. Every day I take $5. I put $5 aside and I go, I'm going to try to sweep every single bet today. And I put a 10 to 12 leg in every day, multi-sport, everything. Shooting for a home run just because I like that extra dopamine rush in my body.
And when it hits, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm
baby.
like 1 for 200 right now. So
Yeah, but I mean the one thing I like about Hard Rock is if you're actually paying attention, they'll give you an escape out.
Yeah, they will.
And it's such a struggle because they're on a number where you're like, okay, I got a profit here, but I only need one more game.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep.
But it's that game that always gets you.
I have a rule of thumb. I never cash out.
Yeah, you never cash out.
I never cash out. If I have a parlay in and it's down to that one game, I'll hedge, but I won't
There you
cash
go.
out.
Right.
What was the one
Gotta have faith.
Yeah.
Like what was the one I was gonna cash out last week, and you and Rebecca were like, no, you got this.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you
I?
did. Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, it was. I think it was like a 25 wager for like 1 point for like 1.1K.
Yeah. So it was.
Did you cash out or did you?
I didn't cash out.
Did it hit?
No, I lost.
Oh, man.
I lost the next two.
Yeah.
I lost the next two, but I mean, it was like a 200. It was like 340 or something like that.
Something I've seen a lot of success in with NBA during the playoffs, especially, is if you're a big NBA watcher. Most people in the United States aren't now,
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you are, I like to watch game flow and see who's like playing well.
Yeah.
And I will do like 2 player props, one from each team that I think is doing well, and you can live bet their lines, right? And so if they open at like 20 points, they have a slow start, they drop down to 15. I'll get them at 15 points, and they typically tend to cover. I went 2 for 2 last night doing that. So,
All right. Another one I liked was I think I like Murray tonight on the point side.
yeah.
You have it pulled up real quick.
Yeah, I can pull it up for you
Yeah.
real quick.
I think I like Murray tonight because he just seems to have a little bit of swagger during the playoffs.
He does. He does.
Butler killed me last night.
Murray's points, yeah, Buddy Hield was the one that was their savior.
Yeah.
Their savior.
Yeah.
Murray's points are at 20 and a half.
20 and a half.
Yep.
So
And he's projected to go
Strong
under.
game.
yeah. I normally like him. That's a high number for Murray. He's usually not quite there.
How about the Pacers, man? Two series in a row, they're down 9 points with under a minute to go, and they came back and won the game.
Yeah.
They ESPN put a stat out today. I'll have to pull it up real quick. But in the playoffs, right, when a team is down by that many, I have it right here. So in the playoffs, when a team is trailing by 7+ points with less than a minute to go, their record is 3 wins, 1,640 losses. 2 of those wins have come in the last week by the Pacers.
Wow.
Both times Halliburton hit the game-winning shot.
I know what happened in the first one because I
Right.
had Cleveland by 8. So I was the entire reason that happened.
Okay, so it was because of you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
off the hook.
So it wasn't your fault. Did you have the
No,
Cavs
no,
too?
that's what I'm saying.
All
I'm
right.
off the hook.
Yeah. So I mean, I know why the Cavs. Because I don't like the Cavs because I'm an Orlando Magic fan. Can't really get and it was one of those things where like they should smoke them at home.
But a lot of people thought last year that the Pacers making it to the Eastern Conference Finals was a fluke, and they thought they overachieved. And now they're beginning to show you why.
Big game players.
Yeah, they're big time players.
But and that's what I like about Butler. Losing Curry, I don't know how bad the hamstring thing is.
Hamstrings are tough.
But
Talking about a week at least.
Yeah, it'll tighten up on you. You think you feel good, and then you move around a little bit, and it'll tighten up on you in a hurry. But I mean, they got big game. Butler's a big game player.
He is.
So
He's a postseason guy.
He took and put the heat on his back with
Nobody
else.
Yeah.
Kevin Love.
Yeah, Max Strus and Gabe Vincent.
Yeah. So, guys, guess what?
Yeah, we're overtime.
We're at the end of the show.
Right.
Levi, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Hopefully, if we don't have interviews, we're going to have you in.
Perfect.
If that's good for you.
Awesome. I love that.
So
shoot me a text, and I'm right around the corner.
and
So
we're going to try.
Excellent.
We're going to try and stick to Wednesday nights because a lot of golf starts and
Yep,
some of the
yep.
majors are coming up and stuff like that. So we're going to try and stick to Wednesday nights. We're doing a lot of. our
Yep. Do you guys
sports.
do UFC ever? You guys big UFC guys or no?
Once in a while.
Blake's into it a little bit more than I am.
Nice.
No, I just I used to be into boxing, but
Oh, boxing's terrible now.
yeah, no, it's no one does it.
Yeah,
No
well,
one
that's the
does it.
thing. It's the promoters have control, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Yep.
well, that's why I like the UFC because it's just like one guy and he pins the best fighters against each other.
Yeah.
So
Might have to get into it, but Blake, is there any Formula One this weekend?
No Formula One this weekend.
All right. Thanks, guys.
good.
If you would, please hit that share button. Go and place your bets right now against Lenny so you got a little bit of money in your pocket going into the weekend.
You'll win.
All right. This is Bollocks this evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.